Tonight, Jamaica began its COVID-19 vaccination rollout today, exactly 1 year after the island confirmed its first case of the coronavirus.
First COVID-19 virus in our population, March 10th, 2020, and today, March 10th, 2021, we are administering the first set of vaccines.
Was given on my right arm, and I'm trying to find the spot still. Don't know where, but I know it's somewhere here, but it's not tender, and it is feeling quite comfortable at this time.
Jamaica yesterday recorded 3 additional COVID-19 deaths, taking deaths now to 463, while 808 new cases of the virus were recorded. Still tonight, PEP exam delayed until May 26.
For this academic year, as we did for last year, we will only require our grade 6 students to sit the ability test. This test is now scheduled for Wednesday, May 26, 2021, instead of March 25, 2021.
And 5 men fatally shot during this morning's joint police-military operation in Bedward Gardens, August Town.
At daybreak, when they searched the area, they found 5 men that were pronounced dead. They searched the area, and so far they have found 7 illegal weapons.
Good evening. Jamaica began its COVID-19 vaccination rollout today, exactly 1 year to the date that the country confirmed its first case of the coronavirus. Public health nurse Marcia Thomas-Yetman was the first to get the COVID-19 vaccine in Jamaica this morning. She was inoculated at the Samaritan Inn in St. Andrew. Nurse Thomas-Yetman is amongst the host of frontline workers who received the vaccine today. She spoke with the media and had this to say.
Today is the anniversary of the identification of the first case in our country, and I think it is really good that we were able to launch our immunization, COVID-19 immunization vaccination program today. It is really very good that we're able to do that. And I got my vaccine this morning. I was the first here to get my vaccine, and I am happy that I got it. I'm very surprised. I'm sharing with everyone this morning, I am afraid of injections. And to see me come forward and get it, I didn't feel it, and I'm not lying. It was given on my right arm, and I'm trying to find the spot still. Don't know where, but I know it's somewhere here, but it's not tender, and it is feeling quite comfortable at this time. My greatest consideration was my fear of needles. That was my thought, God, injection. But then when I think of the benefits, that took precedence in terms of what it's going to do for me and my family and for the other persons that I may come in contact with in terms of protection from COVID-19. This vaccine is safe. Thousands and thousands of people across the world have been vaccinated with this vaccine. And they're still alive, they're still doing well, and complications are minimal. And so today, we're very happy that the vaccines are here, and we're encouraging everyone to cooperate with the public sector and the private sector, and wherever it is you're going to get your vaccine, to ensure that we're all protected.
Patrick Scott, the first male in the vulnerable group to be inoculated with the vaccine today, shared his experience with us.
My name is Patrick Scott. I am a director and chairman of the Facey Commodity and Separate Group. I am extremely proud to be vaccinated this morning, but Minister, I'm old enough. In 4 weeks, I'm 77, and I remember well the polio epidemic. And a member of my football team that I played on right up the road from Woolmer's had polio. Your ministry eradicated polio in Jamaica. I am recommending all Jamaicans, especially like me, the vulnerable, to be vaccinated. I'm begging you. I have had 77 wonderful years because of that polio vaccine. Thank you, Minister.
Thank you.
National Council for Senior Citizens and also a public health physician. So today is my first shot. Thank God. It's a relief. It was an awesome experience. The organization here is fantastic. Keeping also with all of the protocols, so the social distancing, the mask, and of course the sanitizing. The shot does not hurt. Little burn does not hurt, no more than any other vaccine. And it's the start of freedom. It's the first step. As you know, those of us over 60 are on stay-at-home orders. It's been a year, Minister, and it's time for us to get back to normal life.
Chief Medical Officer Dr. Jacqueline Bissaser-McKenzie has also received the COVID-19 vaccine. She is now among the first Jamaicans who received the vaccine today. Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Christopher Tufton said that 50 vaccination centers opened across the island this morning, while approximately 3,000 persons received the vaccine today.
Today is indeed a historic day for us as Jamaicans. It represents exactly 1 year to the day since we discovered the first COVID-19 virus in our population, March 10th, 2020, and today, March 10th, 2021, we are administering the first set of vaccines here at the Good Samaritan location at Hero Circle. We just administered 2 jabs as a start, one a senior healthcare worker, well, the second also a senior healthcare worker, and momentarily they will give you their account of the experience, and you will be able to ask them any quick questions. The rest of the day will see a number of other persons being given the job. We chose this location to invite key influencers because we felt it was important for testimonials around the importance of vaccines to show the country that there are a number of persons who are willing to take the vaccine and persons who are willing to talk about the importance of the vaccine. There are other sites across the country, about 70 or so, including in the corporate area, that are concurrently administering vaccines. Today, we expect just over 3,000 vaccines to be administered. When I leave here, I'm going to KPH, the International Chess, work my way over into St. Thomas, Princess Margaret, but all across Jamaica, primarily in our healthcare facilities, vaccines are being administered.
Dr. Tufton also pointed out that former Prime Ministers P.J. Patterson and Bruce Golding and former Governor General Sir Kenneth Hall were among the more than 300 persons who received the vaccine at the Good Samaritan Inn today.
Now, because of the demonstration effect today, that was specially selected for today, the following persons we expect to be here to receive the vaccine. We expect former Prime Ministers Bruce Golding and P.J. Patterson, who are coming in at 9 and 9:30 respectively. Former Governor General Sir Kenneth Hall and Lady Hall, and it's Bruce Golding and his wife, Mrs. Golding. All who qualified because they are in the vulnerable group, they're over 60. We have a representative from the Jamaica Physiotherapy Association, President of the Association of Government Medicine, Dr. Lawson. We have contact investigators, persons who work in the field, contact tracing, Mrs. Dorrit Nareen. We have the head of the NIA, Professor Trevor Monroe, just naming a few. Just as it would be for all others, the appointment system, having gone through the observation process, there would be a second appointment set, and they would get a card, just like you do in any other immunization that gives them the date. It will be recorded electronically also here. They'll be notified days before the appointment as to where they should go, and the follow-up would take place for them to come in and get the second job. I think a number of legislators will begin earlier because they are over 60, so a number of them you will see doing it earlier. Maybe one or two of us may do by now and the end of this month, but certainly during April, during next month, I think you'll see.
Still making the news tonight. In Western Jamaica, Errol Green, the Regional Director of the Western Regional Health Authority, WRHA, was the first person to receive the vaccine, and he is appealing for greater compliance with the COVID-19 health and safety protocols.
This morning, I was privileged to have been the first in the region to take the vaccine. I'm encouraged by the level of support given so far to the project. The RTD and her team, they have worked overtime, they have worked long hours to put together the logistics to make this morning possible. We'll be here to encourage the other healthcare workers and other residents within the Western region to take this vaccine. And I just wanted this morning to say thanks to the RTD and the team for the support that they have given and for the effort that they have put into making this possible. I had my first appointment, it was at 0800 hours. I arrived and I was seen and I was dealt with seamlessly, no problem, no issues. Again, we say thanks.
The health workers were excited to get the chance to be vaccinated. Carleen Grant-Davis, head of the Pediatrics Department at the Cornwall Regional Hospital, gave us her experience in receiving the vaccine.
Actually, it was a good experience. It was totally pain-free. I'm no stranger to vaccines. I'm a pediatrician, so I give vaccines almost every day. So I didn't have any fear going in except for the fear of needles. But it was totally pain-free, I must say. This is the way that we are going to be on the road to preventing the coronavirus infections. So for all those who are able to take the vaccines, and most of us can, the contraindications are very few, the side effects are almost minimal. So most of us can take the vaccines, and we really should.
Also, the Regional Health Promotions and Education Officer in the Western Regional Health Authority, Marceline Wheatle, pointed out that this vaccine is proven effective against the coronavirus while outlining some possible side effects.
This morning we begin our vaccination process. The vaccine that we'll be giving is the AstraZeneca vaccine. Persons will be getting 2 doses, one today, and between 8 to 12 weeks after they will be given an appointment to get their vaccination. This vaccine is proven to be effective. It will help to reduce the burden on our hospitals and our healthcare system. The vaccine will be given in the arm, the upper arm. Some side effects may include tenderness to the area. You may be a little swelling, fever for some persons, but this is one way of the body showing that it is responding effectively to the vaccine. We ask persons, if at all, when they get the vaccine and they're feeling overly not so well, they call their hospital or the Emergency Operations Center, and we'll take it from there. Having taken your vaccine, we are encouraging individuals to continue, one, to wear the mask, to socially distance, and also to ensure that they sanitize using an alcohol-based sanitizer or the good old hand washing.
Director of Nursing Services at the hospital, Julian Legister, on her part, said that they are in full support of the vaccination program.
Certainly the nursing staff of this hospital, we are on board as it relates to the vaccination program, and our team, part of our team, will be vaccinated today. And so we are here along with other senior persons. We are in full support, and we are a part of the program, and we are here because certainly you would have heard what is happening in terms of the numbers and the illnesses and the loss of even some of our colleagues.
In the meantime, our news team also visited another location, the Type 5 clinic in Montego Bay, where vaccines were being administered. Here, healthcare workers were happy to receive the vaccine. We spoke with registered midwife Noreen Roper, who in sharing her excitement encouraged the public to take the vaccine.
Well, I've been looking forward to the vaccine reaching. I'm very excited, and I'm so happy that I'm here today and I have received my first dose of the vaccine. I will say to others that are in doubt, don't be afraid. The vaccine is just like getting any other vaccine. All right, it is here for us. The pandemic is here. We have been having a lot of persons being hospitalized. We have been having a lot of deaths. So if you take the vaccine, it will prevent the country from reaching a crisis. Because what happened, even at Barrytown Health Center, most persons are ready and willing to come and get their vaccines.
Lennox Wallace, parish manager for the St. James Health Department, after receiving his first dose of the vaccine, commended the way that vaccines were being administered while assuring the general public that they too will receive the same treatment when it's their turn.
Oh, it was a smooth process. I was ready for it. I think I have the best set of professionals here. And I want just the public to know that when it is their time, they will receive the same professional treatment like I've just received here this morning.
In your parish, that is?
We are doing 60 at this site, 100 at Cornwall Regional Hospital, and 30 at the Sandals Inn. But we are oversubscribed already by over 400 odd persons this morning. My staff has expressed interest. Over 540 persons that I have, and all persons have shown an interest. And I'm happy to say that if my own professionals have shown that level of interest, then I believe that the general public will do likewise. What you see set up here will continue for the rest of the year. When we leave, when we do our health staff, we will go on to the police, the fire department, and the JDF, and other government staff, parish council, and then we'll roll out to the community, persons over 60. We have enough vehicles at St. James Health Department, not just for persons to come here, but for us to go into the community and to vaccinate those who cannot come to these facilities. So we are just advising the public that do not worry, we are coming to you to vaccinate.
In related news, yesterday the island recorded 3 additional COVID-19 related deaths, taking deaths from the virus now to 463. The deceased are a 66-year-old woman from St. Elizabeth, a 62-year-old woman from St. Catherine, and a 28-year-old woman from Westmoreland. The Health Ministry says the 3 deaths were previously under investigation. Another fatality is being probed, taking deaths being investigated to 55. Meanwhile, there were 808 newly recorded cases ranging in age from 14 days to 98 years, taking the total of cases now to 28,273 with 12,934 active cases. The ministry said of the new cases reported, 434 are females and 337 are males, ranging in age from 14 days to 98 years. Now, the parish that reported the highest number of cases today is Kingston and St. Andrew with 216 cases, while St. Catherine reported 142 new cases of the virus. The other cases were reported in St. James with 57 cases, St. Thomas recorded 53 cases, and Trelawney as well. Manchester and St. Anne recorded 47 cases each, Hanover recorded 44 cases, Westmoreland recorded 36 cases, Clarendon and St. Elizabeth recorded 33 cases each, St. Mary recorded 26 cases, and Portland recorded 21 cases. In the meantime, there were 50 additional recoveries, increasing that total to 14,645. Some 277 persons are in the hospital, with 38 moderately ill patients and 31 who are critically ill. In other news tonight, the ability test component of the primary exit profile PEP examinations has been delayed for a second time, with the new date set for May 26 of this year. Here is the Education, Youth and Information Minister, Fable Williams, with the announcement of the delay made this morning during a post-cabinet press briefing.
For this year, we had all hopes. Back in December of 2020, we anticipated that by now, our grade 6 students would have already sat the ability component of the PEP6. That was not to be. Based on the COVID figures, we had to move the date to March 25, 2021 from February 23, 2021. Here we are on March 10, 2021. We believe that at this time, as we completed our consultations with our stakeholders in the education sector, that our students would be best served by utilizing a similar format that was used in 2020 for the placement of our grade 6 students into high schools. We now outline for you our parents, students, principals, and teachers, and other stakeholders further changes for this current academic year that will end in June 2021. Starting with PEP 6, which is PEP for our grade 6 students. For this academic year, as we did for last year, we will only require our grade 6 students to sit the ability test. This test is now scheduled for Wednesday, May 26, 2021, instead of March 25, 2021. The administration of the ability test will be in all primary level institutions, presided over by external persons contracted by the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information.
Minister Williams also announced that the curriculum-based test and the performance task components will not be administered during this year's sitting of the PEP. Instead, there will be a merger of the students' ability test scores with the results of the grade 4 PEP results of 2019 to determine this year's high school placements.
Given that our grade 6 students will only be required to take the ability test component of the PEP 6, how do we know who goes to what high school? We will use the same methodology we did last year. We will combine the results of the ability test to be taken on Wednesday, May 26, 2021, with the results of the grade 4 performance task exams in language arts and mathematics that the current grade 6 students would have sat in 2019. Because in 2019, our students who are in grade 6 currently would have been in grade 4. Parents already have those grade 4 scores, and so they know the stage at which their child is. So the focus now is only on the ability test. The combination of those two, the ability test and the scores from the performance task test that were done in grade 4 in 2019 will determine the placement for high school. We have data that is guiding us regarding the grade 4 performance task and the ability test to reliably place our students in high schools. It would be the combination of these that the technical persons at the ministry consider to be the only method of placement that would be considered reliable. I am advised that the use of the grade 4 performance task scores alone as a placement mechanism would not give enough data points to reliably rank students for placement. It is therefore important that the ability test be done on Wednesday, May 26, 2021.
Minister Williams further outlined arrangements that the ministry will put in place for the makeup of areas in the grade 6 curriculum that the students have not covered going into 7th grade.
So having used the ability test and the performance task exams from grade 4 to place our students in high school, what arrangements are there for the makeup of areas of the grade 6 curriculum that were not covered? I'm sure that's a question that's on the minds of all our parents. The ministry will administer diagnostic tests, not to be confused with the ability tests, at the grade 6 level to gather data on the students' achievements of the National Standard Curriculum. Data from this assessment will be sent to the high schools in which the students are placed. This diagnostic instrument will be administered by classroom teachers. You may be aware that the National Standards Curriculum allows for the aspects of the curriculum that were not covered at the primary level to be covered at the secondary level at grade 7. This would require, however, that the number of school days be increased. The technical staff is preparing a retention document to lay out what criteria we use to determine which students are retained in their current class. Once that is prepared, we will consult with our stakeholders, and of course, this will be communicated to all Jamaicans. We know that the changes we have made are not perfect, but we believe them to be a practical approach to ensure transition to high school in an equitable manner.
The Jamaica Teachers Association, JTA, previously called on the government to further postpone the examinations, citing the threat to the health of teachers and students. President of the Teachers Association, Jasford Gabriel, says the organization is satisfied with the changes.
We believe that this is a reasonable arrangement and will help to ease a lot of the anxieties that are out there, since there was a rush for different schools to be opened, and some even took the chance to be open without the Ministry of Health's approval because they figured they were going to be left behind, and they too want their students to be at their best for the best placements. So I believe that if this announcement had come earlier, it would have helped. But nonetheless, we are happy that for the consideration that has been exercised, and it should help in terms of treating with some of the issues that we have going forward.
Continuing with the news tonight. The 5 men who were fatally shot during this morning's joint police-military operation in Bedward Gardens, August Town, have been identified. 7 guns and several rounds of ammunition were also seized during the incident. Now it is alleged that a soldier was also injured during the shooting. One of the deceased men has been identified as Colin Mignus Sr., otherwise called Peng, the reputed leader of the Berry Gang, wanted for several cases of shooting at the police. The other men are O'Neill Dixon, 24, Delaney Palmer, 22, Tafari Janai Dell, 22, and Akeem Tilo McLean, 20. Head of the Jamaica Constabulary Forces JCF's Corporate Communications Unit, Senior Superintendent of Police Stephanie Lindsay, who confirmed the shooting, explained what happened during the operation.
Yes, I'm able to confirm at this time that sometime after about 4:30 this morning, members of the security forces, it was a joint targeted operations, and this operation was planned between the commanders for the St. Andrew Central Division and the members of the Jamaica Defense Force. It is in response to a series of things that have been happening in the Bedward Garden area of the division. So this morning when they went into the area, and to describe the Bedward Garden area, it's a very densely vegetated area which is extremely difficult to police. So what the gangs have done, and in this particular case it's the Berry Gang that operates in the area, and in recent time they have been provoking the situation, provoking the citizens in Augustown by going into the hills and firing at them. Up to Sunday, they fired at one of the checkpoints where we had some of our military operatives there. So they decided to go in search of these men. So the operation was planned and executed this morning. When they went into the area, they made contact with, the first contact resulted in a gunfire. In that instance, persons were injured. Shortly thereafter, there were several other contacts with criminals. So at daybreak, when they searched the area, they found 5 men that were pronounced dead. They searched the area, and so far they have found 7 illegal weapons, ranging from high-powered weapons, submachine guns, and pistols, a number of assorted ammunition, and they also found a number of cell phones. They also found a location that they believe is to be one of the operating base that they operate from. It's a number of locations that they operate from in that area.
SSP Lindsay said that the Joint Military Police team is still searching for other suspects.
It is still a very active combat zone. At intervals, they are making contact with individuals and they are being fired on. So the members of the security forces are in the area, continuing with the operation and the search area, because they believe that there are other threats there. They also know that there are other weapons because they have found some ammunition and they have not found the guns that use that caliber weapon, so they continue to operate in the space. One member of the Jamaica Defense Force was injured during the incident and is currently being treated, and the operations will continue. I think it's a response that was necessary, and it's a response that was very well executed. It was a special scheme of maneuver had to be designed for this particular operation given the environment in which they had to operate. But in the end, I want to say that the superior training of the security forces prevailed.
SSP Lindsay also confirmed the identities of some of the men and their suspected crimes.
So far we have identified them. One of them is the leader of the Berry Gang, and he's known as Peng. He's wanted for several incidents of shooting at the police. He has even threatened the commander for this station in recent times. So he has that history and he was wanted. And he has been identified as Colin Mignas Sr. He's 48 years old. We also have among the persons identified O'Neill Dixon, O.C. Dede. He's 24. We have Jelani Palmer. He's 22. Tafari Dell, O.C. Johnny, 22. Akeem McLean, O.C. Tillo, and he's age 20. And all of these persons were wanted for different crimes ranging from murder, shooting, as well as some of them were persons of interest in other cases that are currently under investigation by the St. Andrew Central Division.
The law enforcement officers found high-powered weapons, submachine guns, pistols, and assorted ammunition, as well as cellular phones. One commanding officer explained that the Joint Security Forces will maintain a strong presence in the area.
Well, the threats are that these men are adamant that they want to create mayhem, they want to kill innocent people. They have tried to do it, and that's what happened on Sunday night, because the intent that they had was to come across into Augustown in particular spaces that their rival gang members are to carry out reprisals and other acts of criminality. So we had to be very steadfast in preserving that and creating that type of buffer. So this morning's operation is certainly in keeping with what we needed to have happen, and it has gone well so far, so we hope to continue and reap some more success around it.
Still making the news tonight, scores of taxi operators in Maypen, Clarendon parked their vehicles on Monday to protest a series of issues facing them. The taxis were used to block some of the main roads while the drivers displayed their placards. The taxi operators say their problems range from inadequate parking facilities to police victimization, and they want their concerns addressed immediately.
We don't take no more ticket along Main Street going down to Guinea Tree, Manchester Avenue. Why? We don't have no bus park. We don't have no bus shed where people will stand on and stop the taxi. We don't want no more police brutality. As a police staff nowadays, as a taxi driver, in back out in gun. And a public transport vehicle we are dealing with. Then, a corona time, and when we take a stop, one police, I give one driver 6,500 worth of ticket. In these times, they say we can't cheer back, we comply. They say mask, we comply. Everything they say we comply. So why they can't comply with we? We need the mayor to come stand up and talk. Two, this morning, we need the taxi association representative two to contact us.
Maypen police can't work.
We don't want Constable Sinclair back on Maypen. None at all. We don't need him back. We are in severe pressure with many more too.
The fear thing, it have to go raise too. The hate that thing not going to work out for longer, because we reason why I say that. They must say, we see town police come there, they must say, watch now, two round back, one on the front. That can't work. That cannot work there. You get me? I say, so watch now, fear have to go raise.
Members of the police force who kept watch over the protest bore the brunt of the taxi operators' frustration. Head of operations for the Clarendon Police, Superintendent Christopher Phillips, addressed the angry protesters.
You have some concerns. I am not sure what the concerns are. In order for me to address them, I would have to hear what the concerns are. I don't know if you have a representative in a group right here that could talk, put the issues together and just share them so I can communicate properly to my SSP, or we look on how we can resolve it. Gone are the days when people run and mash up place and do all kind of foolishness.
Now, the protest action caused a brief buildup of traffic in the town. Some commuters were also left stranded for the duration of the protest. Mayor of May Pen, Winston Mirage, in the meantime, defended the authorities. He says claims by some taxi operators that they are being victimized are not true. According to the mayor, the actions of the municipal authorities and the police are aimed at returning order to the capital.
The police and ourselves have had a meeting last week, right here in this room, along with the Transport Authority management, and we are looking at putting in some better systems that everybody can benefit from. We're not in the business of harassing any taximan. I'm sure the police is not in the business of harassing taximen either. They just want an orderly town, and that's what we want as well. And I'm sure the taximan agrees that we should have an orderly town. And they would like to have a better relationship with the police as well. And I'm sure the police indicated to us that they want to have a better relationship with the taximen as well.
And those are some of the stories making news. We will return with more as effective April 1, students seeking a loan from the Students' Loan Bureau, SLB, will now only require one guarantor instead of two, and no additional taxes for the 2021 to 2022 financial year. But first, we'll take a break, and then it's over to Christopher Scott with the very latest in sports.